Hi, guys. Are we live yet? There we are. Hello. I don't know who's out there, but hi, whoever's out there. Well, hi there, Josh. Hi, Tara. How are you guys doing tonight? Hi, Gus. Hi, Gus. This thing better not start buffering right out the gate here. I'm doing good. I am wanting the internet to work tonight. Please. So yeah, I just was sitting there at school today and I had watched a couple videos this morning and I just had all kinds of thoughts. And it's dangerous when Sherry has thoughts, you guys. Hey, you were close. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of this stuff. I'm going to link these videos in the description box of this video once it's over, the ones that I'm talking about. I was all geeked out about it to the point that I even wrote notes down. Well, hello, my glitzy Pooh Bear. How are you? But yeah, um, hi, Mom. You guys take a picture. I have my hair down. It's the first time in forever and it's looking pretty raggedy, but yeah. Yeah, I've been with kids for 8 hours, so yeah, me too. Different school, but yeah. Hey, Janine, I'm doing well. How are you? I have my coffee and Jesus mug full to the top. You can see. Let's not spill it. Coffee and Jesus and beauty community chat. I love the coffee. But yeah, I'm going to wait for a few people to show up and then I'll dive in. And I really just want to kind of start a dialogue about this because there's just so much to say and I learned so much from this video today. I want to share it with you guys. My mama gave me this, actually. How long have you been in school, Glitz? It just started for you, right? Third day. I just read it now. Oh my gosh. Third day and you have a book report and 3 PowerPoints? Whoa. How are your kitties, Tara? They are so cute. I love kittens. Of course, I love kittens, but I love yellow tabby cats so much. They're so cute. Did you ever figure out which one was which? They look a lot alike. But yeah, um, aw, I want to see. I want to see your new hairdo. But my hair, I had an appointment to get my hair cut and I didn't because I finally have it long enough to where I can put it up in a bun and I don't have to plaster it with hairspray to keep the back up. Okay, it was so funny because your daughter was like, no, that's Taz. And no, that's, what's the other one? Theo. You're like, no, this is Theo. It was cute. Your daughter was so cute in that video too because you could tell she was about to overflow with excitement. Hello, Shauna. How are you? But anyway, so I didn't cut it. I just left it. But I mean, I washed it today, so it's limp and all sad because it doesn't have very much dry shampoo or texturizer spray in it. You're sore. Why are you sore? Have you endeavored into a new exercise program? The reason I say that is because it's like, yeah, I was thinking about getting back after it, working out wise, and I thought, oh my gosh. Just, when I don't know how I missed your video with you showing everything that you got, but I watched it and it just, I had to get the palette out the next day. I wore it the next day, the Marvelous Mauve, because I love it so much. I'm like, I haven't touched this in so long. And I've been so dedicated to the Lorac stuff because I'm going through those. I'm rocking every palette, right? And I haven't done very much just for fun. So I pulled it out and I was so happy to use it because I forgot how beautiful it is. The baked browns one is gorgeous too. I was kind of hoping that maybe there'd be a hot buy on one of the newer ones during the Ulta sale. You're so welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Oh, Shauna, I'm sorry. I've had some nightmarish situations with teeth extractions, so I don't envy you. I'm sorry you've had to do that. That's in 12. That's not good. Ugh. I hope it heals up for you quickly. Don't suck on any straws. That's my only advice because I think I was just half loopy from having my wisdom teeth taken out. I think I was still so loopy that I didn't realize what I was doing. And I was trying to suck a milkshake through a straw. And I made myself have dry sockets. And that's pretty much misery. It's Tack. Hi, Tack. How are you doing? No worries. I'm glad to see you. I know people are busy and have lives, and we're trying to support 8 bajillion people at a time. It just happens that way. I hear you. My face was like, I mean, my face was a lot fatter than anyway, but then you add the swelling to it. I was like, I can't even make my face puff out that far. Oh my gosh. And it was like to add insult to injury. I was teaching a science camp for sixth graders at a nature camp nearby for 2 days when I had the dry socket. So let's say I had zero patients. It was like a, what's the word? Rotation of 6 different groups of 50 each. So for like 8 hours, I was with sixth graders with dry sockets. It was not a fun weekend. Hey Nicole, how are you? Yeah, don't do it. Don't do the dry socket. Don't do it. But yeah, you should have someone with you after the wisdom teeth removal to keep you from doing stupid things like that. But I remember I finally got to the dentist and they packed them with clove oil strips, and I like to this day I cannot taste clove anything without just having like a return to that terrible moment situation. Oh, let me knock something over. Let's not do that, Sherry. Hi, Amy. I haven't even started really talking yet. Hi, Jessica. And I'm going to wait for 5 and then I'm going to go into my spiel. I just wanted to kind of start a dialogue about this because I watched 2 videos that just really got my wheels turning on the beauty community and kind of like our responsibility with it, or in it, our responsibility in it. And I just wanted to talk about some things because one of the ladies that I'm talking about made such valid points that I don't think anybody ever says. And I'm so thankful to her for having the cojones to actually do it and say it because it could probably cost her. Um, it could probably cost her in some ways, but I appreciate that she did it. And I'm talking about Samantha Ravindall, and also a video by Marlena from Makeup Geek. And I don't know if you guys have seen these 2 videos, but like I said, I'll link them in in the description box after we're done. And I hope I didn't miss anybody coming in. Hello, In Tall Pines. How are you? They just made some really valid points, things that I think it was just some insight that I hadn't had before, and it just really it made my wheels start turning, and it just made me really want to have a conversation with you guys about it because I think I'll get there. I'm gonna wait for a few more minutes, but I think there was some transparency there that hasn't been there before, and I think it applies to most of us because most of us have channels, and most of us that, at least the majority of us that come to my live streams, of course, there's a variety of everybody, but most of you that come to my live streams are YouTubers and you're small creators, and it may not be something that applies to us now, but it may be something that applies to us later. That's okay, Tara. Yeah, there's just so much. Hey, Lulu. There's just so much going on, and Lulu has had some really great live streams about it. Um, and and I really feel like she had it covered for the most part. And that's really why I hadn't addressed it much because a lot of other people were talking about it, but those two videos today just really just impacted me in a big way, and it made me think about things, and it made me want to talk to you guys about things that we haven't really talked about, things that we haven't and this is more than just like news. Like, this is the way it impacts us as creators. This is the way that we need to have, like, knowledge that we need to have because we may be in that position someday. And just like double standards and all these things that take place that nobody really talks about, I think they kind of outed some of this stuff. And just the fact that they did that, it just really made me think about it. And I just wanted to chat with you guys about it. I wanted to start a dialogue, and I wanted to hear your opinions on it. So, how is your new job going, Lulu? Are you with kids yet? Are you surviving? Well, I like his hair in Titanic. No, I really haven't started yet. Lida said it's okay. But yeah, I've been with kids for a week and 3 days or something. Have you? Is it going well for you? Are you falling into the groove of things? For me, it's always kind of hard to get back into the groove, but if I was starting off someplace new, well, good. Good, good, good. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I just have a lot of opinions on some of the stuff that she said, and I really hope, hi Lily, I hope that you guys will go watch the videos if you haven't seen them already, especially Samantha's, because like I said, I think she was taking a risk saying a lot of what she said. I think it was risky for her to do that. I think she could probably have some backlash from it, but I appreciated that she was candid about it, and I appreciated that she wasn't afraid to say it. She said some things that I think people would be cringe. I think people would cringe about because people are so afraid to say things because they're so afraid they're going to offend somebody. And for the most part, we do need to be sensitive to everybody else. But on the other side of it, there some companies and people are capitalizing on things that aren't really their things to capitalize on. Actually, in my opinion, Samantha Ravendall. In fact, oh good. Well, I hope we can hear about them. Um, I would put the links up now, but you'll go watch them and then you won't stay here, and I have to get the watch time. I'm totally kidding. If you guys didn't notice, I have ads on my videos now. I finally got monetized, so you guys have so much to do with that. So thank you so much for your support. If I haven't figured out how to set things yet because I just haven't had time to mess with it. I just know it's monetized. So if it's super annoying and there's a whole bunch in there instead of just one or whatever, I haven't had time to figure it out yet. But I'm super excited and I've made 1 cent. And so I'm super famous and super rich now. I've made 1 cent off of YouTube. I have made enough to buy one six thousandth of a pallet. So I'm super famous. Yeah, I know, right? It's so I'm just laughing. But hi Kay and anybody else who came in if I missed it. But um for me it's just like one more step. I have like an entire goals program. The way that I am, I'm just goal oriented and I always am striving for something. So I've been striving for that for a long time and I accomplished it. So on to the next thing. But he's offering your stuff out for a penny. What's up with that? But yeah, I really am happy. Anyways, I'm not excited about it for making money. I'm excited about it for being acknowledged that I'm actually a real YouTuber, you know, like you're acknowledging me, YouTube. And it's like, I don't know, it was so important for me to make YouTube acknowledge me after all that we had to go through to get back to this point, you know, whenever I thought I was already there when everything changed. So, yeah, I just feel like it's another step toward where I'm headed. And so I'm excited. I was, I think I was on the phone with my mom. I was on the phone with my mom when I got the email. I'm like, finally, I'm monetized. But yeah, okay, so let's get into it. Do you guys want me to put the links in the video? Because I mean in the chat, I will. I have them in an email right here. If you want me to do it in case you can't stay or in case you don't want to take the time to come back, I'll do it. I have them on a email. Let me go grab them real quick and I'll just throw them up in here. But I watched Samantha's video like 3 different times because I just needed to hear it again because I wanted to really digest it all. So the first one that I'm posting is the Samantha Ravendall video. Hello, Diva. That's the Samantha one. And, you know, I've kind of gone back and forth with Samantha as well, but she was spot on, and I can't deny her that at all in this video. And the next one is the Marlena from Makeup Geek video that I watched. That was also pretty eye-opening. So that's the second one. Overall, I think the videos, I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to forget about it. Overall, the videos kind of made me think that eventually in kind of in maybe in the next year or so, I think there might be a little bit of a shift in what brands are looking for, because how well has it worked out for them to invest so much money into these bigger YouTubers? It's not turning out well for them, right? It's kind of tarnishing their reputations and it's making them look bad. And how much longer are you going to pour money into people who are messy and problematic? How much longer are they going to continue to do that? And I think this time is the first time, like, this has happened repeatedly. And I think this is the first time that people didn't just immediately forgive. And I'm kind of I'm that person. Like, once I love somebody, you know, Manny, for example, I watched him from the beginning and I really loved him and I was all for him. And I was so excited that there were starting to be men in makeup that were getting somewhere and were getting some notoriety, getting some exposure. And supported him fully for such a long time that it's hard for me to let go of supporting him. But now, like, it's undeniable. I can't support what he represents. And it's the first time I've felt that way where, I just, where it just left a sick feeling in my stomach about somebody. But then on the other side of things, I know from media, I know from politics, I know from everything that I encounter in life how things can be spun in a certain situation, however the media wants it to be spun, whoever says it first, whoever says it more emphatically. And I'm just to the point where I don't want to support crappy people. And I mean crappy human beings. I don't want to support crappy human beings anymore. I don't want to support people who don't have character. I don't want to support people who don't care about anybody else. Like, I just don't want to do it anymore. But I didn't even want to start this video. I mean, that's not what this is about. This isn't about me being on a rant about people that have disappointed me. It was really it was the way that she went about this video, and I'm talking about Samantha, that was so well thought out and so intelligent. Like, she had some chops, and I was like, yes. The whole time I'm like, yes, thank you so much for saying this. Thank you so much for opening my eyes, because this is true. Like, this is for real. And I'm just going to give you some examples. I wrote them down. The first thing was that there's three perspectives, and that's the perspective of the influencer, the consumer, and the brand. And a lot of us are in a unique situation where we're more than one of these things, because at this point we're consumers and influencers. We're both. And so we're kind of in a unique situation, and we may not be a high impact influencer right now, but it doesn't mean that our opinions and things that we think and feel about the community aren't valid, because they still are. We're pouring our money into this industry. So it's valid. We're valid. Our opinion is valid. And at this point, we're not sold out to it. Okay. Yeah. Is seriously, do we already have somebody who's tripping? I didn't. All I saw was women like you constantly want to make people feel bad about themselves. And the truth is, are we not the complete opposite? I mean, everything that I've seen from you guys, everything that I try to project out into the world is, and hopefully he's still listening, what I try to project out into the world is that, I want you to love yourself without a stitch of makeup on your face. I want you to feel comfortable in your own skin. I want you to embrace what's beautiful about you, that's unique about you, that's special about you. That's what I'm always projecting. And so he obviously doesn't know who I am, so who cares what he thinks? Bye. Bye, Felicia. But what was so interesting is she was talking about these three elements, and we just happen to be more than one of those at once. We're influencers and we're consumers. And so, and all of us have fallen prey to the impact of the hype, right? Is there anybody in here right now that hasn't fallen prey to the hype of something that somebody we respected went all gaga over, and so we automatically decided that we had to have it because that person that we respected and that person that we loved, it is promoting something. And then also you don't just fall in love with an influencer, but you also fall in love with the brand. And I fell in love with Too Faced, and I bought everything that they made for years, you guys, before I realized that half the stuff that I bought was crap. And I'm not that person who trashes makeup or trashes mostly collabs and things that people put their heart into. I don't want to call it crap. but there's a lot of stuff that I bought just because I loved a brand, or just because I loved a person that was promoting the brand and all those things. And it's like, man, you know, the point that she was making was that we all have some responsibility in the beauty community becoming what it has become. We all have some responsibility in it. We have responsibility in it for being someone who's involved in it as a consumer and buying into the hype and allowing people to influence us into buying things because we just, and so a lot of those people that influenced me into buying things are people who are making a double S of themselves at this moment. Like they're responsible. I'm responsible for allowing them to influence me into buying things because they were pushing it, you know? And so yes, we have a responsibility. They had a responsibility to us, but unfortunately, in the position that we're in right now, we care about the people that watch us. We correspond with the people who watch us. We interact with the people who watch us. We're friends. We hang out. We chat together. We watch each other's videos. All these things, it's different with us because we know each other and we're for each other. And that's different. We're not in competition with each other per se. I mean, some people do, some people are competing, under wraps or behind the scenes. Some people are competing, but for the most part, we're for each other, and that's different. And so, we're not trying to bring each other down, and we're not trying to one up each other all the time. That's my opinion, and that's the way that I feel about most of you. I just think that we're really about each other and helping each other. And so a lot of this doesn't apply to us, but a lot of it does. But she was saying that we're all responsible for some of this, and we are. But the part that blew my mind was that whenever Marlena was talking about some people were demanding $60,000 per video. And Samantha said that now that figure is out there, that people are DMing her nonstop saying, do you not do a sponsored video unless they offer you $60,000? It's just like the flipping NBA or something like that. Every person has a worth as far as what they offer to a brand or what they offer to a team. And just because somebody else can demand $60,000 per video doesn't mean that everybody can, and it doesn't mean that everybody would. But one thing that she really drove home that really impacted me was she said, what's wrong with somebody making a $60,000 video if that amount of money is being offered to them? Because that money would not be returned to anybody but a multi-million dollar company who is not hurting for money. So why shouldn't somebody who was once in our situation, being brand new and starting off fresh, why shouldn't somebody who has the opportunity to make $60,000 on a video not take advantage of that if that is what a brand thinks they're worth? But one thing that really, I don't have mixed feelings about that. I've said this from the very beginning. I'm not going to apologize. If I ever get to the position where I receive PR, I have opportunities, I can have sponsorships. I'm not going to, obviously, I'm going to be very choosy and careful and protective of my channel and the way that I do things, but I'm not going to feel bad about it. And she's like, and the thing that, one part that she said that I was like, yes, girl, preach it, because she was saying some consumers or some people who are watching influencers want me to buy the product with my own money. They want my honest opinion, but they don't want me to make any money off of it, but they want me to buy it and they want me to make the video so that they can watch my video and they can find out if they should waste their money or not waste their money. They should buy it or not buy it, but I'm not allowed to make money off of it. I'm not, if I do that, I'm a sellout. Like all these things, there's like so many double standards with this thing. And, I'm going to be the first one to say that I'm not going to let anybody make me feel badly for if the opportunity ever presents itself and it all checks out as far as what I feel is a legit situation. I'm not going to let anybody tell me that I sold out. I'm not going to let anybody tell me that I'm making a bad decision. Every other service that there is in the world expects to have a monetary return. I'm not going to go teach children 8 hours a day and just say, oh, it's on me. Yeah, no, don't overpay me. You're overpaying. If you're paying me to be a teacher, you're overpaying me. Oh, no, no. And the other example that she gave that was so perfect was if you were offered two jobs and one offered you minimum wage and one offered you 60 grand, which one are you going to take? And if you take 60 grand over minimum wage, are you a sellout because you're going to choose the thing that's going to be more beneficial to you? And that's what a lot of consumers and watchers of YouTube videos and that's what they're expecting. They're expecting people to give their time for editing, for filming, for all that. People are supposed to put all this money into this equipment so they can have good videos. You're supposed to do all these things, but you're never supposed to benefit from this at all. You're not supposed to have a return from this at all. It doesn't add up. And so I just feel like that has to be said over and over again because, she was talking about how, and this is all Samantha, if she was talking about people are scared, influencers are scared to have too many sponsored videos because they're afraid of what's going to happen. They're afraid that people are going to, drop out on them because they think they're over sponsored. But what do they think? How do they think a person who's doing YouTube full time, how do they think someone's going to make a living doing that? How do they think someone's going to be available to do all these reviews for them? How do they think that they're going to make a living? All these things. She just made I'm muddling it all up just like I knew I would. And that's why I made all these notes. And so I'm just going to kind of look at them and touch on some things. And then I'm going to read what you guys said. But I don't think that anybody should ever have to apologize for receiving monetary return for a service that they're providing for someone else. And we are providing a service for someone else. We are experts, per se, in this field by our experience with it. And if somebody watches us long enough to respect our opinion, we're offering them a service. We're saying, here's a product. I'm showing it to you. I'm demonstrating it for you. I'm giving you my opinion on it. If you respect my opinion, you trust me, you're going to make a decision based on what I said. It's going to save you money. It's going to cost you money, one thing or the other. But I'm providing you a service, and I shouldn't be expected to do that for free. And I shouldn't be expected to feel guilty whenever I accept monetary return for my time investment, my energy investment, all those things. Do you guys agree with that? Hello, Daiwan Gray. I always wonder if I'm saying that right. But you know what I'm saying? I think people, especially people who receive PR, like people, they're forever getting called sellouts, or, they sold out to it and all this stuff. Hi, Wrestler Mania. And so I really, yeah, $60,000 worth of tacos. I would take it right about now because, yeah, no dinner and barely lunch today. Okay, Summer. But anyway, so that was a major point. And she was saying that she sees that influencers are scared. They're scared to make brands mad. They're afraid they're going to get kicked off the PR list. They're afraid to accept too many sponsorships because then their audience is watching. And they're worried about what their audience is going to think. What I would like to believe in it, and I might be naive, is that I would like to believe that people that have been with me from the beginning, I would hope that the trust would be strong enough with people that have watched me for years, because I plan to be here for the long haul. I hope in 5 years I have a base of subbies that have watched me and know me well enough to know that I'm not gonna, send them upstream without or whatever that term is. What is it? Downstream, up a river without a rat, without whatever. I'm not gonna mislead you. If you trust me and you've been with me that long, I'm not gonna mislead you. That's the point I'm making. I can't think of the analogy, whatever it is. I would hope that someone would be happy for me. I would hope that you would think, well, yes, it's about time somebody recognized what she's doing. It's about time she gets some return for all the time and the blood, sweat, and tears that she put into this. Like, I don't understand the entitlement of all this when it comes to the consumer, first of all. And I don't understand the entitlement of it. It really, it makes me question. It's like, I don't know, people are very selfish, and they want people to hand them the world, but they don't want them to benefit from it at all. That doesn't make sense to me. I would be super happy for anybody who worked hard, anybody who has worked hard and put in time and effort. I would feel so happy for those people. I am so super happy about Emily Noel getting an opportunity to work with a brand and to create a palette. I'm so happy for her because she is one of the people that I trust without a doubt. She is full on legit. She has integrity. She's never done anything that has ever made me think, uh-oh, I need to back up, or uh-oh, I need to take another look. I've never ever thought. And she is low. She's not even 100 or 1 million subscribers yet, and she should be. She should have Laura and Manny and all those folks combined, you know? And it's like, this shows you though that it's bass backwards is the word I like to use. I'm so happy for her. I was so happy for her that I ordered 2 of each. That's how happy I was for her, because I just was so happy to support her. And I didn't sit there and go back and forth about whether I should support this person. There was no question about it in my mind. None. Like, I wanted to support her because if there's anybody that I would emulate my channel after, it would be her. She has integrity. She has character. She's legit. And I don't ever have to question that. And that's the kind of reputation that I want to have. But I don't want, people to turn their back on me and drop me like a hot potato if I took a sponsorship. Especially, I think about people like Coffee Break with Danny. When she started her channel, she was a married mama and had a very good income outside of this, and this was a hobby. And then during her time, she got divorced, and then all of a sudden she's the one making the house payment, and I've noticed that over that time she takes on a lot of sponsorships. Well, I don't hate on her for that. She's a small businesswoman now. She's making ends meet. She's doing what she needs to do. And I'm not mad at her for making sponsored videos. I'm not hating on her for making sponsored videos. She shouldn't have to be worried about that, because she's making a living for her family, and she's put in, 5 years now? She's put in the time. She deserves to have brands recognize her. And like, she just recently did a master class with L'Oreal and Walmart. That's a big deal, A Coffee Break with Danny. she's another one that I watched right from. She's one of the very first people that I started watching when I found the YouTube beauty community. But I don't know. It's like all this leaves me disheartened, and I really want you guys to watch these videos. But I want to read some of this because I don't want to miss some of this important stuff that she said. She said that brands are investing into influencers and don't feel like they're getting enough of a return on their investment. And she said that a lot of people are starting to worry that, I'm sorry, I was getting a text message. A lot of people are starting to worry that brands are going to stop using influencers as marketing. And she said, I don't think that's ever going to happen. How much cheaper can you get marketing? How much cheaper can you get exposure than someone just being happy that you sent them PR? Okay? When you're a new YouTuber or whenever you're up and coming and all of a sudden you're getting PR, you're so jazzed you're getting PR. Like, this is me imagining myself. I would be so jazzed I was getting PR that it wouldn't even occur to me that I'm just free advertisement for these people. And I think we need to be aware of that. I think we need to be aware of that. That we are free advertisement for these people. And that's what Samantha said. They don't send the makeup to be nice. This isn't a gift. This is in return or in hopes that you're going to plug their product, that you're going to push their product. It's not to be nice. It's business. It's all business. It's all business. And I don't think that people, particularly people that are probably the size of our channels, are that much aware that it's business. It has zero to do with, and this sounds really crappy, but it's the truth. It has zero to do with what they think about you or who you are. It has to do with what they think about how you can increase the size of their bank account. That's what it has to do with. And if you don't know that, you're in trouble. You need to know that. The bottom line is always, how much money can you make for me? And that's the reason why the bigger influencers are on the PR list and get all the new releases and get all the launches, because they have the bigger platform. They're the ones that are gonna, but see here, this is the funny part. It's backfiring, isn't it? Because with larger YouTubers, with people who have gotten a little too big for their britches, ugly, messy, problematic, messy all over the place, okay? I'm telling you. Messy. And people who are trying to make a lot of money don't like messy, don't like problematic, don't want that. So I just think that there's going to be a shift, and I don't see brands like Tarte or ABH or one of those coming after me with my 1,000 subscribers, but I do see them moving from people with 5 million down more like 25,000, 50,000, like getting down kind of to the grassroots area of the YouTube community, because those are the consumers that can be influenced. People who have 25, 50,000 subscribers have a good base, have a good following, have people that trust them. And I just really think that those are the ones that are going to start getting more notice. I think they're less problematic. They're less messy. I just think that if they're smart, if they know what's good for them, that's what they'll move to. And Marlena said something about that in her video, but she was just, I don't know about you guys that have seen it, but the video, when I was watching that video, to me, it felt like she could not hold it in anymore, and that it was hurting her to hold it in. And the whole time, all I was thinking is that she looked hurt. Not that she was exposing or that she felt uncomfortable with what she was saying. She looked hurt to me. I think people have preyed on her. I know of two people that have preyed on her. I'm sure it's happened more than just that. But I think she's been preyed on by people. I think she learned her lesson. I think she's finding out that, maybe she doesn't want to pay $60,000 a video to somebody. Maybe her product isn't getting pushed that much, but she's doing it the right way. I appreciate what she stands for. She's making the products in the United States. She's benefiting her country that way. She's not sending it off to be made in a lab where you don't know exactly what's going into it. You know what I'm saying? You can't, if you send something off to some other country to be manufactured, how do you really know what's actually going in there? And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And that's what I'm talking about, Summer. The social climbing friendship thing, I can't. It's so hard for me to fathom that because I am so not that person. I am so not that person that I can't imagine ever thinking in my mind, well, let me go over here and be friends. Let me go over here and be friends with Amy Lynn and It's Always Summer. Let me go over here and be friends with them because they have more subscribers than me and maybe they can get me more subscribers. Like, never would that, like, that wouldn't even enter my mind. Like, how do you get to the point? Are you just already like that and you don't become that? Like, it's already at your core. And so you just, it's already at your core. So it just comes out because I can't, like, that thought has never even slightly entered my mind. I've never interacted with someone or gone to someone's channel or frequented someone's channel because I was hoping that somebody else would find me there or that somebody else they would shout me out or any of those things. People do that for me and I appreciate it that they do that for me, but I would never expect it and I would never try to capitalize on it on somebody that thought that I was there because I genuinely cared about them. Yeah. I was shocked at the 60K figure too, but we were talking about this before you got here, Sarah, and hi, Sarah. It's good to see you. Why not? And I feel very strongly about this. Why not? If they can pay a professional athlete ungodly amounts of money, why is what we're doing not worth it? They're getting paid that much money because they're making the NFL or the NBA butt tons of money. That's why they pay them that much, because they're making them butt tons of money. Well, guess what? Influencers are making brands butt tons of money, you guys. They are sitting back, rubbing their fat bellies in their fat pockets, and they are like, ha, ha. And they did half of this stuff for free. Like, they're laughing at the people that are jazzed about getting the PR and just doing it for free. They're like, these people are ridiculously stupid. They're doing this for free, and they don't even care. They're just so happy to have free makeup that they're just so jazzed. Well, guess what? Let me tell you how I'm not a dummy. Not a dummy, and you're not getting me for free. If you think that my opinion holds value and you think that I have some kind of means of making you some money, pay me. I'm not going to say, give me minimum wage because you shouldn't be giving me 60 grand. If someone's offering me 60 grand, dude, that takes me 2 years of teaching, 2 years of ripping my hair out with second graders to get that much money. Do you think I'm not going to take it? Give me a break. And I know this is all far-fetched situation of what could possibly happen, but is probably not going to. And I understand that. I'm not sitting here saying I have such a fantastic channel that inevitably some big brand is going to want to come work with me. But if it ever comes to the point that my service is being sought after, they're going to pay me. I'm not doing it for free. I'm not doing it for free. I feel like we're paying our dues right now. Are we not paying our dues right now? Have we not invested so much of our own money, so much of our own time, so much of our own everything? Aren't we paying our dues right now? But if we do get a following, if we do get a growth spurt, if we do get up there where we have some kind of influence where we really make a mark, they're paying me. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not going to just be excited that you sent me free PR. You're going to pay me. And I want you guys to hear this. No, go do it, Summer. Don't let me keep you from getting done what you need to get done. But yes, I want you guys to hear this, and I want you guys to actually think about this, because I think that a few, probably 6 months ago, I would have been so jazzed that somebody sent me PR that I would have plugged it up one side and down the other without a thought about it, for free advertising all day long for these people.
Bubblegum.
Dude, you scared me. What are you saying bubblegum about? My husband just scared the fire out of me. Are you okay?
Yeah,
Why'd you say bubblegum?
I told you last night.
You did? I'm just a little worried because he's had low blood sugar, and I'm making sure that he's not out of his mind right now. You told me last night what?
You should name your channel.
Oh, okay. Anyways, had to make sure he was in his right mind and I wasn't ignoring low blood sugar episode.
Before you married me.
But anyway, back to the subject. I think that we need to shift our perspective, and I think we need to make sure that we know our worth and understand that if we ever get into that position, that we are of value to them, and they can either pay us and get advertising, or they can get free advertising from us. And either way, they're getting what they want. One thing that really made me think is, she said, instead of taking this money, she said, this is where they're wasting their money. This is where I'm frozen. This is where brands are wasting their money. They're trying to top each other with extravagant PR. And the reason they're trying to make everything more outlandish, top each other, bigger presents, like she said, they sent Roombas, and NARS had sent this crazy thing with this spinning doll inside of it and all these things, is because they want it so over the top that people will talk about it. And what it brought to mind for me, do you guys remember whenever Candy Johnson brought out the Too Faced set, and it was a ginormous lollipop, and all the products were inside of the lollipop, and I just thought it was so huge. I saw several people unboxing it, and they couldn't get it in. The post office was having to deliver it special because it couldn't fit in anything. And they were saying, she's like, instead of putting money into innovation or something more inventive or something outside of the box or something new or something more quality, they're putting all their money into these little launches, which, PR is like a little launch. And when you're making a small amount of product, it's way more expensive than you are if you're mass producing. And so they're putting all this money into this PR, trying to top each other and trying to make it so outlandish that people feel compelled to talk about it on their channels. And in the long run, the majority of it's getting thrown in the trash. She said the majority of that stuff is getting thrown in the trash. And so anyway, she was talking about that, and that was interesting to me because I hadn't thought about it that way. But she said that she gets, and she's got about 800,000 subscribers. She says she gets about 30 boxes of PR per week. And when she takes it, and I guess it gets to the point where you just have so much that you have to prioritize it in a certain way. She said she takes the ones, she puts it into 3 different sets. One of them is the priority, meaning it's a well anticipated launch. It's a much anticipated launch. like a ABH Norvina or something like that, that all of her people are asking her to review. And then the second tier would be things that she's interested in, things that appeal to her, things that she wants to review. And then the third one being it just automatically gets donated because nobody's asking about it. She doesn't care about it. It automatically gets donated. And she was saying that people have accused her and others of being entitled by saying, "Oh, well, I'm just going to donate that." Well, what did they expect? You only have so many hours in a day. There are only so many videos that you're going to make. Which one are you going to film a video on? The one that your viewers are asking for, or the one that nobody cares about? That she did this video as a way to get a lot of stuff off her chest, but in the process of doing that, she just gave me such a different perspective on this. And I'm sorry, I'm not reading anything you guys are saying because I'm so on a roll here. Let me go through and find. Oh, she was saying that people made her feel like she wasn't grateful for the PR, that she was being snooty about the PR, about complaining about the PR, and that they should just be so grateful for it. And the truth is, the table should be turned. The brands ought to be so thankful that people who get their PR do feature it on their channel. And she was talking about the I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. Completely lost my train of thought. Oh, she was also talking about brand trips and spending all this money on sending these people on these extravagant trips. And it's more about them looking good and them looking extravagant and all those things. And I think those brand trip videos, I think those appeal more to people like us. And I'm not speaking for you, but I think back in the day, I would have said that appealed to me because I think that as a small creator, because I think it gives you a glimpse of what you think you might be able to accomplish if you keep doing this. You couldn't get with Samantha on what? Yes, and that's part of the reason that I'm having this live jazz is because I'm talking about the videos that I watched today. No, they're not. And like she said, just because there's YouTube and people make videos of them now. And don't get me wrong, I'm not jumping on this Samantha Ravindall train and thinking that everything that she says is perfection. I just appreciate that she opened my eyes to some things that I wasn't really aware of. And I don't necessarily think that there was a critique of the brand trips. I think she was saying that that money could be used to improve their product rather than into something like that. I mean, I understand the reason for those trips because it's kind of like a big launch party. It's like bring a bunch of influencers in one place, show them all the new stuff that we have in hopes that they will go back and talk about it. And shoot, are you kidding me? I'm not saying anything about it. I would be on a trip to Bora Bora. I would have a big ginormous pink bow in my hair on a plane to Bora Bora. Are you kidding me? Of course I would do it. And who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? And I'm not sure how many she's been on, but I mean, at the amount of her subscribership, I would imagine she has had opportunity to. I don't know that for a fact, but I would imagine she has. And you know, the funny thing about Samantha is that a long time ago, okay, okay, I'll get it. I'll get another dojo bow and we can match. But anyways, I'm being completely facetious, but um man, I gotta quit reading because the minute I read, I lose my train of thought. Oh, hey Sarah. And hi Chrissy. I don't think I saw you come in. And hi to anybody I missed. But I don't know. Oh, what I was saying about Samantha is I have not previously been a Samantha fan. Um, it's just recently, like I watched her several years ago and she was a little rough around the edges and kind of crass and it just wasn't my cup of tea. And that's what, you know, she wasn't my cup of tea, but I got reacquainted with her channel because of Raw Beauty Christie and them being friends. But that's what Marlena was saying. She was saying, what about doing this because you love makeup? What about doing this because you're passionate about it? And all of us are right now. These folks that are in here talking to us about this, we are passionate about it. We do want, we do love it. And do you think it's just like anything else? I'm frozen. I'm gonna I'm gonna refresh my own screen. Okay, I see myself now. Do you guys hear me? But it needs to get back to that. It's like if you're not passionate about it, do you think it's just like anything else, you guys? And I really do want your opinion on this. Do you think it's like anything else, you guys, and just like the excitement and all of it wears off eventually? Do you think they're just like it's just not all that exciting to them anymore? Like think about the difference. And I'm trying to say this because I'm trying to be think that maybe in a non-judgmental way. Do you think that obviously, let's say I get a package from NARS tomorrow. I'm like doing cartwheels in my front yard. Okay. I'm going up and knocking on the door and saying, look, neighbor, I got PR from NARS. And they're like calling, you know, the paddy wagon to come get me because they're like, who? What's NARS? And are you okay? And do I need to go get an ambulance? Now think about your very first PR package and then think 5 years down the road where you get 25 packages on your doorstep and all you can think about is where the heck am I put all this? You know what I'm saying? And so I can understand where maybe a shift in your perspective on that might change over time. Do you guys agree? I mean, that's just kind of a natural progression. That doesn't mean that you're not grateful and thankful that you're in that position, but it might mean that you don't have the same excitement over it as you did. And it does become, I'm sure it becomes like a real job and it's not so much about the passion and it becomes about the job and this is how I make my living. You know what I'm saying? All right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Gray. I'm just going to call you Gray because I know how to say that word. But I'm not about the drama. And I thought to myself when this last thing happened is like, how long are these people going to continue to be so messy and so problematic and people are still going to continue to pad their pockets? Like how long? And I thought to myself, should I go through my collection and throw away all the stuff from these people? And then I thought, I paid for that. Why should I throw it away? Why should I throw away stuff that I paid for? Like, why should I throw it away? Just because they made it. I still paid for it. It's still mine. I'm not throwing it away. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it just for spite. I'm going to use it. I'm not throwing it away because I'm mad at them, but I'm not going to support what they do anymore. You know, but I don't know. I am personally happy to see their subscriber count going down. I'm personally happy that finally there's a response that matches up with what's going on instead of people just brushing it under the rug, sweeping it under the rug. I'm guilty of it because I don't want to lose faith and not and have bad feelings about somebody that I once really admired. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to give up on people. It really is, and I'm a very forgiving person, and I forgive when I probably shouldn't. I give second chances when I probably shouldn't. But it's hard for me to give up on people, but man, it's too much now. I'm so glad that that people are just like, no, we've had enough of this. We're going to hit you where it hurts, and that's your pocketbook. Since that's the reason that you think that you can do all this, and you're just, untouchable. You're just so special just because you're so and so that you can do all this dirt and think it's never going to have an effect on you. Um, you know, I'm glad that it's happening this way. Hi Ellie too, and hi Danny. I saw you come in and I was on a roll. Um, but I really feel sad. Like I feel sad that I felt sad watching Marlena's video. It made me feel really sad that to me it looked like she was hurt by the way that she was treated by some of the people. And I think she was sad to have to make a video like that. And I'm just done with the bad behavior and everybody just condoning it. I'm just done with it. Well, the thing is like who's gonna tell the truth? And I'm not gonna keep on going on and on and on about what Samantha said because I want to interact with you guys. But please watch it because and take what you want from it. You don't have to buy in to everything that she says. I just want you to be aware of a lot of the things that she opened my eyes to because I just didn't ever think about it that way. And I think in the position that we're in, what we're trying to do here, I think we need to know it. I think it needs to be in our arsenal. I think it needs to be in the back of our mind. I will, and I can do it right now. I'll put the link to the videos. I had them up already but I'll put them in the description box too once the video is uploaded. This is the first one is the Samantha Ravendall video. And the second one is the Makeup Geek Marlena video. And I have very much respect for Marlena and Makeup Geek because I really feel like she's legit and I feel like she does her business with integrity and I can get behind that. Yeah. I just think that yeah, it is a dirty business because there's so much money to be made. So much money. Like I don't even think people understand how much money we're talking here. It is insane. And guess who's paying their bills? We are. And so we have the right to demand that people at least act with some kind of character and integrity. And we don't have to buy products from people who don't. And I think the part where we're responsible is we want the products. And so maybe we're willing to fudge on maybe a bad feeling that we feel about somebody who lacks integrity because we want the product, because we're fiending for the product, right? And I'm guilty of it. I'm not gonna lie and say that I haven't been. I wanted that Manny Life's a Drag palette, even though I felt not so great about him. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have if I had the opportunity to get the nudie patootie for a discounted price, I probably would have gotten it, even though I was not feeling too good about her at that point. But now, I I don't have any desire. I don't know if they can rectify themselves in my mind at this point. And she does love what she does, and she is very picky and proud of what she produces, and I can admire that. I can respect that. And I don't know. I feel like people got over on her pretty hardcore at the beginning. And I think she was trying to collab with people. And I think she was trying to bring people up. And I think that's the reason why she was hurt. I think that's why she looked hurt when she was doing that video, is because I think she got burned. Um, and I don't know how true this is, but I heard that, and I know you guys knew that at one point Jaclyn Hill was supposed to be doing a collab with Makeup Geek. And I know it's partially true because I saw a video of the Makeup Geek warehouse that had product that was designated for the Jaclyn Hill palette that never got created. Um, she lost a butt ton of money off of Jaclyn not following through with that collab because the product was made. And one of the shades that was inevitably in Manny's palette with Makeup Geek was a shade that was supposed to be in Jaclyn's palette. Um, she backed out on her after product had already been created and made and manufactured, cost her a butt ton of money. And look at this. That woman cost her $1 million. And have you heard her badmouth Jaclyn Hill? Have you? And even today, when she was mentioning people, she didn't name names. And how much would you want to say, something about that chick cost me $1 million? But she didn't say names, and she could have. And I respect her for being a lady about it. I don't know that I could have been. What was she saying about? What was she saying to people who are questioning her products? I've never heard about that. She didn't have to name names. I knew who she was talking about. Um, Marlena was selling little stoves. I'm sorry. Maybe that was before my time on YouTube, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. I may have to do some research, because I didn't know anything of that. That doesn't even slightly sound familiar. I think I'm saying Jaclyn. I'm like lighting her name. Jaclyn cost me $1 million. Like I'm doing it in sparklers over the top of my head. Jaclyn did it. Jaclyn did it. See, I would be I would be petty. I would be that one. I'd be like, she did it. Jaclyn did it. Jaclyn did it. So I don't know, you guys. Here's the thing. When it comes all down to it, everybody's human and everybody makes mistakes. Um, but I can tell a phony. Oh my gosh, I can tell a phony at 100 miles away. I can tell a phony. And I'm not about it. And you guys who've known me for a while, I'm just not about it. Makeup Geek has they have their own website. They have a few products in Target now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember whenever she tried to send out the sparklers, uh tried to get them out. early and didn't put the sifter in it, and people were mad about it all getting all over the place, and I would have been too. But I'm telling you what, everybody has their things, and then after all of it, I think to myself, like, I always have that part of my heart who always feels for somebody. And I think about being a human being and what would happen if I was in a position like that, and what choice would I make, and would I make a mistake that would make the whole world hate me? You know what I mean? Like, you can make one mistake, you can say the wrong thing one time, and you can just get shot down. You know what I mean? And that's scary to me. And I talked with Lulu and lots of other people about it when I say I don't think I would want to have a million subscriber channel. Like, I don't think I'm even down for that. I think my heart is way too sensitive to, like, if I'm watching my subscriber list or my subscriber number take a massive dive because I said something stupid, or I said something you know, out of stupidity that was just like a flippant remark about something. Oh my gosh, like, I don't want to be under a microscope. I really don't. I don't want to have my life speculated upon. I don't want to be the person that's on the drama channel getting ripped a new one by everybody else. Like, I don't want I really don't want that. I want opportunities, a few, but I don't want to be in the limelight the way they are, and I don't want that kind of attention. I really don't. I know that I don't think any of us can say how we would behave, or how we would react, or what we would do unless we were actually in that situation. I'm sure there are pressures, and I'm sure there are situations that people find themselves in that they're not prepared for. I really believe that. And so I try to remain human and realize that these are still human beings, um, who are not perfect, and who make mistakes. It's the repeat offenders that don't seem to have any remorse. And like I said, I can tell a fake from 50 paces. Thank you for being here, Chrissy. I appreciate it. You know what I believe? I believe that people get so full of themselves because imagine if you were somebody who really was a nobody, and then all of a sudden you had 5 million people telling you how wonderful you are 24 hours a day. I could see you getting a little full of yourself, and I could see you getting a little too big for your britches, and I can see you all of a sudden thinking that you're invincible. And I think that's what happens to people. I really do. I think people just get, and I think it takes something like this to bring you back to who you are and what you are. And oh, yeah, I'm just a dumb girl from Alabama. And I'm just a dumb girl from Alabama. And I screwed myself out of a massive paycheck that could have set me up for the rest of my life. It could have paid for my children's college education, and I just screwed myself out of it. Yeah. I just, I want to believe, and I want to say that that kind of success wouldn't change me, but I don't know how it can't change you. I don't know how you can go through something like that and it doesn't change you, but I still want to believe that at my core, I'm still going to be a person who has a heart and a soul, and character and integrity. Like, I just don't know how you compromise that. And it's hard, it's easy for me to say because I'm not in that position. Hey, Lori. Yep, they sure do, and that's what I'm saying. So I have a heart for these people, but that doesn't mean I condone what they do. I'm glad you did. Hey, Rachel. So I did want to say this while I have a lot of you here, and that is tomorrow's video is me using the Laura Lee party animal palette because I filmed a tag video like a couple days after I got the BoxyCharm, and I hadn't none of this like it was just the tip of the iceberg. I barely knew what had happened and what had gone on, and I would have chosen not to use the palette in a video if I had known the full extent of it all at that point. But it was the second time I filmed this tag, and I don't want to film it again. And so you guys just know that I would have made a different judgment had I known all the information prior to this, but I don't want to waste the stuff that I shared with the tag. So, just letting you know. Yeah, you don't. You just don't know how you're going to react. And so, I mean, from a human perspective, that's where I'm coming from with that because it's like, I don't know how. I would like to think that I would handle it better. The kind of ugliness that she spewed, I can't even imagine those kind of thoughts even coming to mind. I mean, we all have ugly thoughts and evil thoughts and things that come to our mind, and we think to ourselves, dang, that was mean, or dang, I need to back up off of that because that was not kind or that was cruel. But like, I like to think that I stop those before they come through my brain, through my fingertips, and I put it out into the world. And if nothing else is learned from this situation, Twitter and internet, anything that you put out there is out there forever. And if you don't want it to come back to haunt you in your life, don't put it out there. And I'm in a unique position that makes it a little bit easier for me because I'm a teacher and I have to be so cautious about what I say, what I post, any kind of connotation that it might come with it. I have to be so careful, and I'm glad for that because and for me it's being a teacher, and because for the long time I was really involved in my church and the online element of my church, and so a lot of people that I had on Facebook and on social media were people from my church. And so I'm like, okay, not only do I have to worry about the parents of my students watching this and reading this, not only do I have all these people that I go to church with, my pastor's family, all these people are, and it's like, okay, so I have like this 5-finger test. Would my husband think it's okay? Would my pastor think it's okay? Would my employer think it's okay? Would my mama think it's okay? And would God think it's okay? And if I can pass those 5, that's a pretty stringent test. And if I can pass those 5, then I think I'm pretty safe saying it and posting it. If I can't pass those 5, if one of those people would take issue with what I'm saying or posting, then I need to not do it. Like, could it be potentially harmful for me? And I'm seriously careful about it. Because think about it this way. Think about your kid's teacher is on YouTube and every other word is the F word, and she's talking all this stuff about all these people, and she's talking crap about your kids. She's talking about how bad her class is. She's talking about how poorly behaved her class. Like, if I did that and one of my parents ran across my channel and heard that, guess how fired I would be? I would be fired before I ever got to work tomorrow. I would be fired. So I like having a paycheck. I like having a job, and I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize it. Well, I think that the people that are in these positions need to look at it that way. I like my lifestyle. I like the fact that I can, I don't have to worry about where my next food is coming from, and I don't have to worry about when my next paycheck gets here because I have enough money in the bank to live for the next 10 years. Like, appreciate the position that these people have put you in. And let me tell you something, little Miss you know what doesn't stink with your party animal palette. Let me tell you something. That person that you said needed to pull their pants up, I bet you paying your flipping bills right now. So you better get a reality check quick. Anyway, okay, sorry. You know it's not a Sherry Live unless I get on a rant, but I meant it. Paying your bills. And guess who ain't paying your bills now? Scooby-Doo Papa ain't paying your bills now. You know what I'm saying? It's not, was it worth it? If I could ask her any question, I would say, was it worth it? Was it worth it to think you were cute? Was it worth it to try to be funny at the expense of somebody else? Was it worth it? I bet you it's not. While you're watching your subscriber count dwindle and dwindle and dwindle, was it worth it to be hateful and ugly to people that you don't even know? Was it worth it to talk stuff about fat people and black people? And was it worth it? Guess what? They're not paying your bills anymore. Okay, I'll stop now. I just can't understand that kind of thinking. And here's my thing is that people always say that it's in jest. People always say that they thought it was funny or what. You don't even use that kind of sensitive subject and try to be funny about it, because chances are somebody's not going to think it's funny the way that you think it's funny. Oh my gosh. They always try to say it was just a joke. Have you noticed that? They always try to say it was just a joke. Anything that can potentially be hurtful to somebody is not a joke. So, anyway, let me stop it. So, what do you guys think going forward? Please watch the video. Please watch the videos. You know, my mama raised me right. My mama raised me right. My parents never allowed me to think that I was better than everybody else. They just never did. And thank God for that, because I have people that I love and adore of every nationality, every gender, everything from all different parts of the world. In my family, you guys, we are like Heinz 57 family. I just can't imagine missing out on my grandbabies. I just can't imagine missing out on my daughter and my son. And I can't, you know, and those kids I actually chose, you know what I mean? I married those kids. They were here before I even met them. They were here for 3 and 5 years. Like, I would miss out on my kids if I had that kind of thinking, and how much less rich my life would have been without them, you know? I can't even attempt to spell her name correctly, but I will attempt. I think it's, and I might be completely wrong. It's Ravendal, right? Let me just get the channel. Let me just get it for you. Yeah, I spelled it right. Ravndahl. I think I spelled it right. Yeah, I can put the link up again. I've got them right here if it would be helpful. This is the Samantha link. The first one is the Samantha link, and the second one is the Marlena Makeup Geek link if you're interested. And like I said, I'm not endorsing every single thing both of these women said. I just think there is a lot of really valuable information, especially for people who are new, who are creators and who are new to this and don't know a lot of this. It's really some stuff that I think we need to be aware of. So I think it's really sad that people limit themselves in that way, that people, I think it's so sad because, oh my gosh, some of the most wonderful people I would have missed I would have missed out on in my life if I had thought that way. And it makes me cry to think about it because I'm like, I couldn't live without my Cassie. I couldn't live without my Jagger. I couldn't live without so many of the people that I love. My Eli, my Eli is over there being inconspicuous right by my closet door. Do you guys see him? He's the one that yeah, the Samantha video is very informative on how the beauty industry actually really works when it comes to bottom line money. You think that they're doing you a favor by sending you PR, but you're doing them a favor. Like all these things that you don't think about when you're a new YouTuber because you would just be so jazzed to be in the mix, to be on somebody's PR list. You know what I mean? And those kind of things. I mean, I get the happies thinking about it even now. I would be if flipping. Let me think of somebody who I really like. I'm having a hard time as good as I thought they were, or they're not as good as they used to be because now there's things that like okay, let's say Viziart sent me PR. I would flip my ever loving lid. I would. I was not kidding. I'd be doing cartwheels through my front yard because I would be so thrilled that they even knew who I was. You know what I mean? And so I guess the point I was making is that you have to understand that it's free makeup, but there's still a price. And the price is you're giving them free publicity, you're giving them free advertisement, you're giving them free exposure. It's not free. Okay? There's an exchange that's happening. It's not free. Even though we think free makeup, it's not free. But yeah. So I think I'm going to look through my cards and see if there's any other thing that she said that was really impacting to me. Oh, here's one. If you, let's say you're working a regular 9 to 5, or we'll just use me as an example, and you're a teacher, and you go to school from 7 to 4, and you're a teacher every day. She was comparing this to why influencers are a little bit scared to be honest on reviews and such. And that is, would you go to your employer and go in there and tell them all about themselves and tell them to stick it where the sun don't shine? You don't like it the way they do it. You don't like their brand. You don't like the way they do it. Whatever. How fired would you be, right? And so you've got a brand who wants to work with you. You don't want to tell them that their product is a crap because they may not want to work with you again. They may kick you off the PR list. And so I can understand where some of that friction comes from, because especially if you're new to someone's PR list, you're new to them knowing that you exist. It would be scary to be honest, I would imagine. I would have to be, but it would be scary to be honest because you would think, okay, I'm on this gravy train and they're going to kick me right back off. And I have a feeling like that's the kind of YouTuber I would be if I ever did have a chance with any brands. I would just be that person that said, dude, like if I can't say what I really think, then don't send it to me, because I can't. my allegiance to the people who have been with me long enough to get me there, my allegiance to being honest to them is always going to outweigh my allegiance to a company, because that brand doesn't care who I am. They care how much money can be made from me. And so who am I going to be allegiant to? My subscribers who have been ride or die with me for all these years, or a brand who just wants to make money off of me? Which one am I going to be allegiant to? I'm going to be allegiant to my subscribers. And Samantha was saying that. She was saying a lot of these PR companies or these PR packages come with explicit scripts, and they want it said exactly this way, and they want these products featured, and they want you to say it this way, like practically reading off of a script talk points. And she said that she thinks that the problem is that brands and advertising are transitioning from having full control over what their ads say, their advertising says, into allowing somebody else to be that advertising, and that person is not predictable, and that you can't predict what that person's going to say. It's a little bit risky, if that makes sense. They're having control issues, and so they want you to say it in a particular way. But she's saying that the brand and the creator need to be able to collaborate together to come up with what's going to bring them the best return, and they're unwilling to do that at this point. They don't want to let go of control of the advertising, and that makes sense to me. But when it comes to that, you have to, like, let's say I get on the video, you guys go on my video tomorrow, and I'm reading off of a card, and I'm like, good morning. Today I'm here to talk to you about the Lorac Mega Pro. It is 2 rows of shimmers and 2 rows of creamy mattes, and I love it. I think it's great, and the pigment is out of this world, and it is a very economical $49. And you guys heard me talking this way, like, how quick would you know that it wasn't me? And she's like, my viewers are going to know that I wouldn't say that way. So can we compromise? Can we collaborate to come up with something? They're not going to buy something that they know I'm reading about off of a script. They're going to buy something because they trust my experience, and they trust my opinion on it. And if I can be honest and I can tell you how I feel about it, and I tell them that my experience with it was great in an authentic way, that I would actually speak it, and they're used to me speaking, they're going to be a lot more likely to buy the product, because they're going to trust it coming from me and me authentically, rather than this script that you want me to read off of. Am I making sense? Right. Hi, Denise. Yes. And I understand that. And so they are paying you to promote them. But are they paying you to promote them if they're giving you this PR for free and you're not getting paid? Now, if this is a sponsored video and these people are paying me, I'm going to do the sponsored video the way they're asking me to. If it's not something I'm comfortable with, then I don't agree to do the sponsored video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but even then, you're getting, what, $75 worth of makeup?
How much money am I making them by pimping out their product for free?
Well, and not only that, but how much would it cost them to put a commercial out?
Right, that's what I'm saying. They're basically getting bottom line free advertisement just for the cost of their product.
Which is already produced and in this, you know,
Hey, Quisha.
they throw warehouses and that crap away.
Yeah. Hi, Mom. It was funny, and at the end of the day, after this video, at the end, It was so funny. And she's got a very dry sense of humor and she's very sarcastic. And so if that's not your cup of tea, you might take her the wrong way. And this is Samantha I'm talking about. But at the end, she goes, and I can't remember what brand she's at. She's like, I'm getting ready to use, and she's talking like this. I'm getting ready to use this mascara and it's just like the best thing ever, and it's black, but it's like the best black ever. It's the most carbonous black ever. And it's so funny to me because like people who don't know that she's such a smart aleck that way would think that she was being serious, but she was being so facetious and it was so funny. Like after all this seriousness, like without seamlessly into this little monologue of her acting like she wasn't that so funny, Sarah? I laughed. I was like, after this long spiel of this really serious monologue about what she was talking about, she's like all into this, and she's like, it's like I can't, something about you can't see it with the human eye, or is undetectable by the from the human eye. It was just so funny. So if you don't feel like you want to watch the whole entire video, at least go to the end, and because it was so funny. I didn't even see it, I guess. I didn't even notice that. But I love talking to you guys about it because I really appreciate different perspectives on things. Right. And non disclosure, I'm glad you said that because she mentioned that one of the biggest problems with influencers is non-disclosure, and the reason that they don't disclose that they're doing a sponsored video is because they're afraid of being considered a sellout, being considered over sponsored. And it's, you know, I don't, how honest are you being if, like, how much of what you're saying is going to be your honest, legit opinion of something if you're being paid to do this and you're not disclosing it? When I thought you had to disclose. I thought it was like a federal law that you have to disclose. Am I just dreaming that up? Isn't it a law that you have to disclose things that you get for free for review? Don't you have to disclose it? And people don't. So how are you supposed to know who's telling the truth? You don't. And that's what she was saying. How are you supposed to know who's telling the truth? Well, you don't. You just have to support those who you think are doing it right and don't support those who you think are doing it wrong. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Support those who you think are legit and doing it the right way. And don't support the ones that you don't feel that way about. You have to disclose sponsored videos, but not PR. Okay, well, she was talking about sponsored videos, I think. I might have, yeah. But who's gonna, who's gonna be the sponsor police? Who's gonna, who do you think, do you think that a brand that is paying you to pimp out a video of their product and their suspicion that it was not disclosed, it's going to narc on the person that is giving them free advertisement? How are they going to know? How do you know that somebody's not disclosing that they got it for free? I mean, I'm a follow the rules kind of girl, so I'm going to do that. But how do they know? I said that's the problem, is so many people are not disclosing, and so you don't know if they're being honest about it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's very it's very difficult to discern. Okay, I'm going to stay on for 15 more minutes and then I'm going to go because I need to do dinner and just have a little bit of downtime. But one more thing. How do you guys feel about the fact that that every time there's a Jaclyn Hill Morphe launch, there's some kind of problem? In fact, every time there's been a major, and I've been a Jaclyn Hill fan for a long time, you guys. So it says a lot for me to even be questioning her because I've always really enjoyed her makeup ability. Okay, not so much as a person, but why is it that every time she has a launch, there's some kind of issue? I mean, do you think Morphe, I mean, do you think they make it in a cheaper way and she knows it and it gets sent out and then she gets bad reviews and so then she has this big to do making everybody think that it's been reformulated and it really hasn't? Do you guys believe that what they sent out the second time around after the initial PR was the exact same thing? And is that what they were talking about when they said they put the stickers over it? They were making it look like it was something different? I didn't buy them because I'm like, I took a stand on this one. I'm like, this is the third time. The first time was Becca, right? And the second wasn't there some issue with the Jaclyn Hill palette that some of those weren't pressed correctly? And I didn't buy the vault because the fact that that thing happened again for the third time. Here's my thing, and Ladessa, I'm with you. They did not make enough money, enough product to launch a Jaclyn Hill launch and just throw it all away. Sorry, did not happen. I would bet $1 million on it. There is no way those people threw away it had to be millions of dollars worth of product. No way. They went to Ulta. You know, I don't even know that I was that impressed with the colors. Okay, there was one of those 4 palettes that I might have been interested in, the one that had the pinks in it. But something in my spirit kept saying, don't go for it, Sherry, don't go for it. And so I just didn't. I just kept putting it off. And you guys know I've been on a low buy and trying to keep a check on myself. So, I was just like, I'm not wowed by it. I love my Jaclyn Hill palette. I really love it. And I really enjoy using it. But I wasn't that impressed with those in particular. There wasn't anything that was so different from what I already have. Well, if they didn't share that info, then there's a reason. But there's no way in the world, just because she's Jaclyn and they want it to be perfect for her, that especially the kind of reputation that Linda from Morphe has put out there for herself, meaning kind of money hungry, greedy, whatever. I just can't imagine. I just know. And not even her, and not even Morphe, and not even Linda. Any makeup company brand that made that much money, that much product, is not going to take a hit like that. Period. Not going to do it. Who is? Oh, she is. I don't know, you guys. I think it's sad that we live in a world that everybody is so dishonest that we almost have to, like, that's almost the status quo. You just assume dishonest, and then maybe you find out otherwise. You just assume that it's dishonest, or somebody's trying to cover their backside, or dude, hi Charlene. Dude, she wasn't even slightly convincing. Like, it made me sick to my stomach. I was like, dude, at least try to be convincing. At least try to have a little bit of sincerity on your face. There was none. It was like somebody doing a really bad skit. Oh my gosh. It's like, rather than put out something like that, that just like basically put the last nail in your coffin, just put the camera down, go take yourself a hot bath, take a few days, get some bearings about yourself, and then at least come and do something that is going to slightly try to repair the damage that you've done. No sense. It was ridiculous. Oh, it was painful. It was cringy. It was cringy to watch. I was just sitting there going, you think that was convincing? Like, the whole time I was like, when's the real apology gonna come? And it's like, I don't know. I'm just done with it. I'm one of those people that I probably give way too many second chances to people in my life, to everybody. I'm just like the queen of second chances, because I don't like to give up on people. But I'm telling you what, there's nothing. And here's the thing. I'm not going to say that I won't forgive people, because I will. I'll never withhold forgiveness. But there is nothing in there's nothing that can be said with the mouth, with words, that can change anything. The only way that you're ever going to change my mind is for you to put some action behind your words. And I don't want, that's just never going to happen, because I don't think she feels like she was really wrong. If she felt like she was really wrong, she wouldn't have had to drum up that sorry excuse for a terrible acting little skit that she did. It's not, I think that if she had given a genuine apology, I think that the damage would not have been so bad. I think it was the fact that it seemed like that was so disrespectful to put that out there as your apology. It was so disrespectful to people who were harmed by it, and people who were hurt by it, especially people that once supported her, to find out that she's disrespected people that way. Um, I just don't think that she's gonna bounce back from this like she has bounced back from other things. I don't know if she's paid for most of them. I don't know. See, I don't speculate on things like that, because a lot of those things can be made up. I did hear that while she was on the major drop after she deactivated her Twitter, that she had a major drop, and then it went back up quickly, and somebody, I don't know if that was confirmed, or if that was somebody just speculating that she was buying subscribers to try to make it look like it wasn't happening so dramatically. I know that, I mean, everybody was a little bit hacked off um, that she just posted a review video after all this happened, and didn't acted like nothing happened. Thank Thank you for being here, Rachel. Have a good evening. But I'll tell you what, you guys, I'm not about, I really look for every way that I can find peace in my life. And I think all it takes is 8 hours in a room of 25 second graders for you to search for peace in your life. And so I really don't buy into this stuff, and I don't let myself get upset and mad over things like this. Ordinarily, I don't even pay any attention to it. But this time it was just like too much. Like I could not ignore it, and it really, really bothered me. And it's just something that I don't think that she's going to bounce back from. And she shouldn't bounce back from. If nothing else, even if people do resubscribe and people forgive and people move on and all those things, um, at least I hope that she takes a hit financially where she really is going to feel it. And I just don't want people to think that that's the way the beauty community is, because I've seen so many beautiful things just in, the people that I've met and all you guys, and the way that we all are for each other and support each other. It's not like that. And I think it's a real shame that those people are being spotlighted, and they're the ones that are kind of out there representing us as a whole, and I don't want to be represented by them. And so I'm hoping um, that this will kind of induce a shift back onto what YouTube was. I mean, them having these high number people representing them is getting them lots of bad publicity and bad taste in lots of people's mouths. And so I hope that the the spotlight is put on to people who are legit and have integrity and character, like Emily, and like us, because we rock. But yeah, I'm not supporting somebody who doesn't have integrity, and especially somebody who doesn't can't even own up for some really crotchety behavior. Yeah, it does. And I think that if the brands had any sense, if they start really paying attention to what's going on here, I think they will, like I said earlier, I think it's the kind of the mid-size, or on the smaller side of the mid-size YouTubers are the ones that are going to give them the best return on their investment and their advertising dollar, because those people have very um, dedicated followers who have been with them for a long time, and there can be, some good things happen from that. I just think they've been ignoring that for a really long time. Well, thank you so much, Krista. I think you and I need to actually hook up on Snapchat or Instagram or something like that where we can chat, because since we're both doing keto and all that jazz, maybe we can just kind of encourage each other along the way. You don't have to worry about it, do you, Charlene? I understand. Sometimes I think I would be better off doing that. Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised that I as a YouTuber, I always kind of, whenever I hear about people getting PR, I almost automatically check their subscriber count because I'm just curious. Thank you for being here, Jazz. Have a good one. Um, I'm always curious about, how much do you have to have now before you're considered a legit a channel? I'm sorry, that just cracked me up. Anyways, before you're considered a legit channel and should get some PR. So, right on. Hey, Velvet. No, it's like, yeah, it's and too much coffee, and yeah, I'm just making up words. But I really am gonna go myself. So, hi Velvet. I'm sorry you're catching me right at the end of my time here, but you might want to go through and listen to part of the video because we had some good discussions. It's not a bad plan, Ronalyn. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your input. I really do enjoy hearing other people's perspective. I will put those videos up one more time before I leave, and I'll put them in the description box. They really are worth watching. So I love you guys very much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I agree, Denise. Thank you for being here. I'm going to have open house, a fire drill. What else is tomorrow? There's like 14 things going on tomorrow. So by the time I get to Saturday, I'm going to be pretty tired. But guys, don't forget tomorrow's video has that Laura Lee palette in it. I've already given my disclaimer. I just don't want you guys to forget. All right. I love you guys. I will see you in your comment box or on my video or somewhere out on the internet. You guys have a good one, and I will see you next time.